Bradenton, Florida is 800 miles from Haiti, but it is a world away from the confines of the Haitian prison, where a judge had Danny Pye locked up in October.
We were called before a judge, and literally, we asked 3 questions and without any explanation asked for me to be put in handcuffs and brought out.
There is still no legal explanation. Danny and his family have lived in Haiti for 7 years. They run an orphanage with 22 children. They had only gone to court to handle paperwork for some ministry property.
In the beginning, I would say I embraced prison actually pretty well because in arrogance, I believed as an American, how long can they hold me? I'm not a criminal. I didn't commit a crime. I didn't hurt anybody. I assumed that, maybe 5 days, maybe 7 days.
Danny spent 5 months and 2 days locked up in a jail cell not much bigger than this, 10 feet by 12 feet. And he wasn't alone. There were 27 other inmates in this tiny space.
We had 50 guys in there for 30 days at one point.
There were convicted murderers, rapists, and even goat thieves in his cell. But as Danny formed friendships with the inmates, he soon learned there were also many like him, behind bars with no explanation, locked up by the same judge.
That's what began for the fear to rise, because there are people there that for 6 years that have never been convicted of a crime.
Fear grew with the deadly cholera outbreak in October, the floods of Hurricane Tomas back in November, and a prison break in December, where Danny saw guards beat inmates to death.
Were you beaten?
I've been tased, and I've been shoved and pushed, but I've never been beaten to the level that they were beaten that day.
Danny being in prison has been the hardest thing I've ever had to go through.
Danny's wife, Leanne, was left alone to run the orphanage, prepare to give birth to their second child, and fight for her husband's release.
Around the middle of his incarceration, that I stopped giving him details of all the rabbit trails that I would run, because when it didn't work out, there's just a lot of pain when hope dies.
There's a lot of moments of hopelessness, of just wondering really what the purpose was and why me, and why am I going through this.
At those low points, Danny found comfort sharing the gospel with his cellmates.
Men that were hard killers were on their knees and on the ground crying out for salvation.
He would later find himself in tears, reading the letters his wife delivered almost daily from the children at their orphanage.
Dad, this is Neri. We miss you so much.
When guards blocked those letters, she would bring him food and write messages on the foil wrapping.
Spoke with some friends in the United States, and they're looking at raising some funds, helping pay for another lawyer.
An American pastor jailed in Haiti says he doesn't know why he's in prison.
The news of Danny's imprisonment began to reach more people in the United States in February, after his wife returned to Florida to have their son.
Having to go on that plane was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, because it felt like no one was going to push, no one was going to be there.
But believers began to fast, pray, and lobby politicians for help. That cry soon connected a prominent Haitian attorney with the American Center for Law and Justice. Together, they negotiated Danny's release.
It was all very quick. We thought that release was going to happen pretty much every week for really 5 months, and then all of a sudden it happened. So
Danny didn't quite believe it until he was on a plane headed for Florida, March 17th, to join his wife and 4-year-old daughter. He arrived just in time. Leanne gave birth to their son just 2 days later.
Joseph Daniel, is that your brother?
This has been a happy Florida reunion, but Mom and Dad say the family will not be complete until they're all back in Haiti.
We made a promise to 22 kids that we're going to be their mom and dad until they're through high school and ready to be adults, and we don't plan on breaking that promise.
They're now only waiting for baby Joseph's passport. Ephraim Graham, CBN News, Bradenton, Florida.